What's going on, guys? It's Nick here, back with another video. A bit of a different one today. I'll be testing out the NBA player prop content. I know some of you are here from the Fantasy Football channel, others from Reddit, some of you from the website. But basically, my plan is to post my model and the props on the website and on Reddit every day, and to do this video Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. So if you like this video, then hit the like button. And if you want to see something else or like a little bit of a different structure, I guess, in the video, then just let me know in the comment section. We're just gonna go right into it. So prop number one, you can see them on the side. I don't know which side I'm gonna put it on. Basically, I typically find overs to bet. I don't really like betting unders. Obviously, you would think they'd be proportionate, the amount of overs to unders, but I just prefer to root on players, so I'll seek out lines that are off in the that are too low. So I'll seek off lines that are in the over. But you can always see them on the side. So Siakam is the first guy to go over. 27.5 is the line. When I say line, I'm always talking about, at least for right now, points, rebounds, and assists. So I don't bet anything else other than like spread and total and stuff. But I only bet the points, rebounds, assists, mainly because it's frustrating betting like points and a guy just has a bad shooting day, but then he makes up for it. He grabs some boards, gets some assists. It's a little bit more random to just do one of the categories because they might just get a little unlucky. But if you do all three, then there's a little bit less variance to their outcome. So that's why I do that. And if you've played basketball, you know sometimes you're just off and you're going to contribute in other areas of the game. So that's why I like doing that. And I like focusing on players who contribute in all three ways. So I'm going to do points, rebounds, assists. I'm not looking like for Terrence Ross. I don't typically bet him because he's basically only getting the points. You know, and even if his line's only like 16, I don't want him to have to score 17 to beat it. So I try and find players who are going to get assists, they're going to get rebounds. So back to Siakam. I don't think this line is off by a ton, but I think they're still projecting his minutes at like 28, 29. I haven't seen anything that says he's a hard cap at 30, and I've seen multiple sites list him at 34. I don't know if he's going to hit 34, but I think if he's in that 32, 33 range, then the line is off by probably 2. I think it should be 29.5. So if you're comfortable assuming that it's not a hard cap at 30, then I do still think this is a good over to bet. And it is my favorite one of the day. I really like him as a player. I think he's very talented. And like I said, he can contribute in assists and in rebounds. Definitely can go off in points. So I like that one as the best one. My second favorite is Horford. He's hit the over on 23.5 in 5 of his last 7 games. Those being the 7 games that Embiid has been out. And in one of those games he missed, he was at 23. So he is going to be in that range. And he's not at all scoring dependent either. He had a game where he was 4 of 14, still went over the 23.5. He had a game where he was 6 of 16, still went over. So even if he's not shooting well, he's going to get in those low teens for shot attempts. He's going to get assists. He's going to get rebounds. So I think he should hit 24 combined pretty easily. So even being in Toronto, that's not ideal. Philly always plays better at home. But my model only has the spread at 5. So I'm thinking this is going to be a relatively close game. I don't think it's going to be a super high scoring game, but if it stays close, we should see the maximum minutes out of all of the studs. And so I do like him as my second favorite prop behind Siakam. One thing to note is that you can't use this in a parlay. So it's really nice when like my 4 favorite bets are in different games and you can parlay them. My like 3 favorite bets are all in the same game. So you can't parlay 2 bets together, 2 props together from the same game. So that's a little unfortunate. But that third player is OG Anunoby. 14.5 is a really low line. I know he has been very volatile recently because he hasn't been playing that great. We see Norman Powell at times take over and like close games in the fourth quarter. I still think that this line is low because like how much does he really have to do to get to 15 total? And I think they're projecting him to get taken out of the game into the fourth. I think that's where their minutes is. And I think they're going to need his defense against Philly. So he's played 34 and 35 minutes in their 2 games this season. And if he's going to be in the low 30s, then I know he's not a high usage player, so he could absolutely go under the line. But if he's going to see in the low 30s, that line is far too low. So I'm comfortable betting that because he doesn't have to do a whole lot to get there. Clint Capella is, I believe, the last over we'll talk about. And I'll talk about another player after. But Capella's a guy I just love taking the over on. Recently, he's had some bad luck with fouls. I think it was the last game or the game before that. He had 5 fouls right after halftime. So I know if you look at the minutes, he didn't miss too many minutes, but he was in massive foul trouble the entire game. 2 games against Denver this season, he's only had a total of 4 fouls. So I know it's concerning, saying, well, maybe Jokic gives him in foul trouble again. He hasn't been in trouble in the 2 games they've played so far. And he does have a 21 rebound game against them, so that's nice to see. He's not getting too many assists. That 1 to 3 range he'll be in. But he's got double-digit boards in 9 of 14. At least double-digit points in 16 of 18. So he's a really good bet to hit the double-double. When you add in the assists, he doesn't really need to get too many more than just the basic 10 and 10 double-double. That's not going to get there. He's going to need more than that. But listen, Houston has been bad recently. I think they've lost 4 of 5. They've lost 3 straight home games. And you got to think, this game also being at home, you got to think they want to go out there and just stomp Denver. So this is also a team that even when they're crushing teams, they don't pull their starters until really late in the game, and they better be up by 30. So I think they try and lay it on here. I think he plays into the mid-30s. If that's the case, his line is off by a bit. I don't think I said the line. It was 27.5, is I believe the latest line. If you follow, like I said earlier, I only typically bet overs. Booker today, I don't love it. And I almost didn't include it in the video, but 40.5 is a lot. With Rubio active, with Aiden back, everyone's kind of healthy that would be taking usage away from him. And I know if you look at his game logs, he's been incredible recently. But 40.5 is a lot. Getting to 41 combined is a lot for any player. And even though I believe they're at home, but my model does actually like them to win this game. I think Vegas has the Pacers winning. Everything kind of points to the overhitting, but I don't know. It just feels a little too high. I've looked at a few projections. They all have it as a little bit too high. So if you do want to bet an under, it's that one, but I'm least confident of all my bets in this one. The last player I do want to go over is Zion Williamson, making his much anticipated debut tonight. That should be really fun to watch. The issue with him is nothing clear has come out about his minutes limits. I've even said or heard some sites say there's no limit. I think the general consensus is he's probably going to be in the 20 to 22 kind of range. It does not make any sense for them to be all right, go out there for 35. That's not going to happen. So I do think he's going to be at about 20. His line right now is 19.5, and I don't know. I actually saw DraftKings put out a booster on him. So the odds have been boosted if you want to bet. Not that one, I don't think, but 19.5 for points is plus 250 or something like that. Double-double is really high in the plus. So I think I'd go more towards those if you do want to bet him. If something comes out that says the limit is 25, then I think we hit the over on basically everything. But I think it's going to be 20 to 22. And if we get that word, then I don't know. They feel like they're fair lines at this point. And if anything, they're probably being boosted up because people like Zion and they want to bet the over. But that's my take on that situation. Basically, just have Fantasy Labs on push notifications. And if something comes out, they're like, no, it's 25 to 27. Don't take that as truth because it could come out that it's 25 and you could play 20. And that's honestly what I think could happen. But if something comes out and they're like, no, I think he's going to play about 25 minutes, it's from a reputable source, then I think we can hit the over. But other than that, wouldn't touch anything. So that'll do it for today's prop bets. Remember, the goal is to see if we can get this out Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But I will be posting every day to the website, every day to Reddit. So make sure you check those out and make sure to tell me if you want to see something different in this video. I don't know what that would be, but if you want a different format or something different, let me know. So that's the end of this one. Hope you all did enjoy. If you did, how about hitting that like button? If you're new here, how about subscribing to the channel? Thanks for watching.